All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the MAUZY channel. I promise you more of my wonderful colleague LingLad, and we shall deliver. Hello, Jono. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel once again.
What's up, dude? Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Ready to cast some nice PvT. So,
Man.
we have some Korean Starcraft League action. This is from week number 1, if I'm not mistaken. And there's two Titans, some of my favorite players, to be honest, especially on the Protoss side. So, without further ado, let's introduce our players. The map is going to be Ancient Cistern, and starting in the top right side, we have the blue Protoss. It's going to be Classic.
And his opponent in the bottom left, the red Terran player, it's RYUNG.
Oof, and what a nice best of 3 to start our Korean Starcraft League casting journey. For those who don't know, actually, since ESL just cannot really provide too much, well, sorry, not ESL, GSL, so Africa TV cannot actually support the Koreans as much as they used to. They cut pretty much a good chunk of it, sadly.
Yeah, I think it's like 80% or something.
Yeah, like it's really almost nothing compared, honestly,
Yeah.
to what it was like for the whole season. Probably the whole season is now paid an amount that was paid for like one
Yeah, one GSL,
yeah, one GSL season.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird because you call the whole thing the whole season like a season as well, and
yeah,
then there's like GSL season 1, 2, 3, and super tournaments and everything.
yeah. There are multiple seasons within a year. And yeah, like you say, one season now is, well, the year now is the equivalent of one season before,
Yep.
which is pretty sad, but nice to see that the community is getting involved. And
Yeah, this is actually a huge shout out to mostly DaveTesta and Chickenman, if I'm not mistaken, and of course all the patrons on Patreon, because I'm also a patron. That's how we got access as a thank you to the replays. So yeah, it's really cool. I can actually grab the GSL expert, Korean Starcraft expert LingLad from time to time, and basically cast some nice Korean Starcraft.
yeah,
I was
nice
like,
to see.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
so
gonna
go
say
on.
nice to see Classic coming back from the military and starting to get back into StarCraft. I think his first couple of games didn't go so well when he first came back, but good to see him not coming back. Oh,
Yeah,
keeps
we
at it
could
after
actually
last month.
see. Yeah, exactly. Just a couple things about Classic. He did have some interesting games in Katowice, but didn't really manage to put up that big of a performance. So
No,
I still hope for Classic to make a nice comeback. He has some of the. I had some iconic builds from what I managed to catch as like history lessons. I remember watching some cannon rushes and watching some really nice builds. He had some cool builds at Katowice as well, but it wasn't too big of a match for the Titans. But anyways, it's gonna be a standard blink opener on the side of Classic, while we have a
still
+1
bio.
push, +1 bio push.
Yeah, 3 racks, no factory, no starport, nothing. RYUNG going all out bio, and I think he's just gonna look. I mean, look, if you look, it's a double tech lab, 1 reactor. So
Yep, so double upgrades, and it should be, yep, there we go. There's a couple of Marauders, still producing 2 Marauders, 2 Marines. There we go, there we see the factory. So this is not going to be anything of a committed push, if I'm not mistaken, as Classic is taking a third base. Kind of late, I guess, so went for that faster Robo Bay, and now is getting the Observer, and potentially it's not going to get an Immortal, but it's going to get a Colossus as the
yeah,
Robo Bay finishes.
yeah.
In the
And
meantime,
lost
we
it.
see, yeah.
Definitely the right call here against what RYUNG is doing, going mostly bio. Well, only bio for now. We're still
There's
waiting
a
for that
move out.
factory to finish here.
I believe we're going to go into 3-1-1 and then probably 5-1-1, then finally 8-1-1. Question is, when do we or when? Ooh, that's actually big. So maybe at this point there's no need for a third command center. Oh, and just as I say that, RYUNG just drops it. Bio is not moving. They used the first stim, and now Classic is going to blink into the main base. This is actually quite huge. It's going to take out the Marauder. Probably going to go for a second one. Ooh, but he's losing every single Stalker, except for one. 3 more join.
Oh, but the bio from the low ground come and pick off whatever was left. Only 2 Stalkers make it up. Make that 1 Stalker. Wow. Stim bio is so fast, man.
Yep, and he's going to probably get that other one as well. At this point, if RYUNG just stims over and over again, it's going to cost him a lot. There is concussive shell, so if that Marauder could actually get a shot off, which it doesn't, it could be a really good catch. Pretty much killing 10 Stalkers and 5 probes at this point. So, pretty huge. Not gonna lie to you, Jono.
Yeah. I mean, the second Colossus is on the way out now as finally some medevacs are going to start to join this army for RYUNG. So, double forge, man. Classic sort of saying, okay, 6-7 minutes in, time to start working on those upgrades, feeling confident. The second Colossus is out and the third on the way.
Ooh, but there's no... Oh, actually, never mind. The Colossus was blocking the shield battery. Didn't see it.
Yep. So I think Classic sort of pretty set up quite well now. There's those medevacs going to join up this bio and finally start to heal some of these overstimmed units that from the early game.
Yeah, still wouldn't mind if he would stop and heal every single unit, because these are like one less Stalker shot. Pretty much all of them, I think. Ooh, nicely spots that Observer, of course, having a huge model nowadays.
Yeah.
A bit faster, but having that huge model.
A bit chunkier as well, so. Yeah, okay, double medevac drop heading to the north side of the map.
Interesting, he's going to park it. Probably going to do a multi-prong. Ooh, 2 more medevacs actually heading towards that third base, and I believe that army in the center will join up with those medevacs. I saw, yep, there are 2 tanks out already. Continuously producing tanks. And actually, RYUNG is, okay, he healed up the units.
He also emptied those medevacs in the top left-hand corner, which is rather interesting. I mean, he emptied the medevacs and now he's walking them around. Interesting, but yeah, let's see. It looks like you were right. He's going to set up for some sort of multi-prong harass.
Okay, I believe he's going to load up those medevacs once again. I mean, you drop them out to actually heal up those units that could actually be damaged. The Classic is going to see this with a pylon, most likely. RYUNG scans forward, and now he sees pretty much whatever he needs to see. 4th base coming up for Classic, but the question is this drop going to be enough? RYUNG doesn't actually pressure that 3rd base. Maybe a blink after? Oh, never mind. Never mind, I just realized the Stalkers had to come up somehow, so no blink for now. There's a pylon that's gonna get cancelled.
Classic starts another one just on the other side of those minerals. Nice, just sort of trying to keep his vision on the minimap and, you know, not let RYUNG get a couple of these cheeky drops off that could throw his game off. RYUNG doing a pretty good job of defending back home at Zealot Run Bar, not actually successfully getting into the 3rd base.
War Prism?
Safe.
Doesn't get caught. Marauders are in front, and it's so funny that Marauders have like decent range and they hit a lot, but no matter how tough they look, they cannot shoot up.
Yeah, definitely limited in that regard, and yeah, this attack's gonna hit RYUNG's 3rd base before he even knows it. Yeah, we go.
Disruptor here. Ooh, this is a really scary attack for RYUNG. Classic could actually die to this. There are ghosts here, so what are the upgrades looking like? +1/+1 for both players. This is quite committed because RYUNG hasn't started +2, and he's pretty much close to maxed.
Yeah,
ooh, he's actually dealing with a Zealot run by at home. That's why he's not really moving with the army. Ooh, and now 2 additional tank siege up. There are Vikings. There's 4 Vikings here. Actually, 8 in total on the map. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
this
disruptor shot. Get some Marauder. Not bad.
yeah,
Zealots now go in front. Ooh, but that Forcer could actually hurt Classic more. Ooh, and now the Disruptor is being focused down. Is going to go down. There's a couple more Colossi here. There's 3 Colossi, and there's a fresh Disruptor. He needs to use that fresh Disruptor as fast as possible. But there's the Vikings. The Vikings are actually burning through those Colossi. And I think we're going to see GG really soon.
yeah, 100%.
Ooh.
Classic doing a little bit. He also propped that shield battery overcharge preemptively, and I mean, look at those. I'm actually going to go back. Look at those siege tanks, man. There's 5 siege tanks there just shelling away at whatever Classic had trying to defend their third base. And yeah, RYUNG with a pretty committed bio. Well, I say pretty committed bio. Pretty committed push there, and manages to kill Classic pretty convincingly.
Yeah, that's going to be game 1. Let's jump into game 2.
That was a good game, man.
Yeah, that was a good
Really
game.
nice, really nicely done there by RYUNG, and I mean, there are a couple of misplays. Classic did bleed off a couple of those stalkers in the early game, probably unnecessarily. Trying to get a bit of early game damage, and RYUNG doing a good job of just, deflecting it. Even that Zealot run by, I checked the units last, and there was only 8 SCVs that had gone down the whole game. So even RYUNG dealing with that Zealot run by pretty easily. So I think just a good game all around by RYUNG.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was a really cool, sick game. But the next map is going to be Altitude, and let's start in the bottom left side. Would you like to do the honors, Jonah?
Yeah, for sure. In the bottom left corner of Altitude, the red Terran player. Once again, it is RYUNG.
And his opponent with the blue Protoss probes, it's going to be Classic in the top right side. Let's see if Classic can bring it back. So, best of 3. Of course, you have one more chance. If you are interested, by the way, if you are interested in either supporting or watching, well, that's supporting as well. So supporting or watching these games, then be sure to follow at KSL_Starcraft on Twitter. And you'll 100% not miss it. It's a really cool logo as well. I'll actually have it in between the games. I'll put it up there while we load into the second game and everything, when I actually edit the video. And yeah, so be sure to check it out and be sure to support these really cool community members. As I said, there's a lot of streamers that actually just put up some of their time. There's investors, basically. I believe it's like $400 for every week, for each week, which is actually quite a lot. So
yeah, 100%.
they also like called it out already that it's an ESL style tournament. Okay, nice block here by Classic, and it's a Marine first into Reactor, so bit of spare gas. Other than that, it's pretty standard so far.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Everything is where it should be, and yeah, it's gonna be
a Stargate. Yeah, and we're gonna see a Stargate since there's no warp gate yet, I believe. Yep, he's going to wait for that 150 gas. What do you think about this this map in terms of like what should Classic get from that Stargate?
I was gonna say I don't know about oracles. There's not that much dead airspace at the back, and
ooh, yeah, that's a good call, by the way. Here's some dead space in the like I guess it's in the corners, but even that is not that much.
Yeah, it's not that deep. So I mean, hiding 2 oracles in there to come in, because both Vespine guys is also in the corners of the map, so your SCVs or your workers are quite safe from like just oracle harass in general. But there we go, it's gonna be a Phoenix, so
will we see a Colossus play as well? Like Phoenix Colossus is probably one of the more common builds in PGT. Of course, there's ways to deal with it. We know that Clem actually loves to pull the boys and everything against that.
Yeah, Phoenix Colossus, nice build. Both adepts do land up going down there, though. Classic sort of just moving those adepts, and they both fired on different marines, so they some of those marines could have gone down. But RYUNG once again with a pretty solid hold, man. Nothing, can't fault him for anything, and I mean, Classic just trying to get a little bit of early game damage.
RYUNG is coming in with the Hellion, and he's going to scout pretty much everything. Sees the Robo and sees the Stargate. It's going to be sure that doesn't lift. That's actually quite smart, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you ask me, don't waste that Phoenix energy.
Yeah, and the Helium was only a one-shot left, so yeah. Phoenix is now just going to move across the map.
We see that robotics bay, or as you love to call it, LingLad, the support bay.
Robo support bay.
There we go.
Okay. Cyclone gets a lock on onto the Phoenix, but I mean, that's just shields gone, and yeah, nothing too crazy. We'll see what the choice of Robo unit is going to be when this robotics bay finishes up, and yeah, Classic now sets up for taking a third base. Third base at about 440. It's about the right time for it.
Yep. Probably good. Yeah, it's going to take this triangle one. I guess this is fine if you have Phoenixes, because then you're safe from like doom drops and everything from third to main.
Okay. And I mean, he's continuing with the Phoenix production, which I really like, and there are some Cyclones getting mixed in here by RYUNG. So Phoenixes just pick up those Cyclones, break the lock on, and I guess the Phoenixes are there to support the Colossi against the Vikings, because the Vikings from RYUNG in the last game just sort of just smashed through. They just sat over those Stalkers and just absolutely annihilated those Colossi. So we'll see if Classic can do something different this game and keep them alive. There we go. Thermal Lance on the way. So yeah, Classic
committed.
Yep, getting what he needs to. But there we go. Stim and combat shields online now for RYUNG.
That's a 3-1-1. So once again, it's kind of a scary build. And we have the Raven, so this is actually the way I like it. Get a Raven, get a Cyclone. You're safe against everything with that, and then you can go into pretty much... you swap the Tech Labs with the Raxes. Ooh, look at that. 2 extra... Actually, it's not that surprising, honestly, 2 extra Raxes. Third base is already on the way to land.
Yeah.
+1/+1 is also going to hit with this timing. I believe this is going to be like a 730 push.
Phoenixes.
Those Phoenixes.
Yeah, they sort of ran into that missile turret in between the 2 Vespine Geysers, and then Classic's just couldn't manage to get them out. I think he was maybe trying to bait system out of RYUNG, but
maybe try to delay the move out. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's exactly what it looked like. Just sort of trying to get in there and keep RYUNG from moving out and buy himself a little bit more time, because 4 more gates are about to finish up for Classic, and so's Thermal Lance. How many Colossi does he have? He's got 2 Colossi. Third one about to pop now.
Yeah,
4
and that's
Phoenixes.
going to be 6 gates, by the way. So 6 gateways is going to be a decent number, but honestly, still not enough to hold some bio pushes.
Yeah.
Of course, this comes down to the micro and everything. If you don't lose your Colossi, then they can just keep damaging. You have extended Thermal Lance, or Pig likes to call it the Viagra upgrade for the Colossi. It's actually one of the funniest things. Also, he loves to call out corruptors using corruption. I think it's corruption, right? No,
What,
not corruption. Basically, the peeing.
Yeah.
He likes to call it like he's shamelessly going to unzip and just empty onto the Nexus or the command center or whatever. Ooh, and a couple of zealots will find this army over here, and now RYUNG might just move out due to his location being compromised.
Okay, it's sort of going back to this Zelnaga tower by the goal base. One random Cyclone just
Guess
Going
that's
out.
the fastest
Oh,
unit. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with being the fastest unit and just going to scout. Ooh, actually, he's going to secure the other tower as well. I love this play by RYUNG, by the way.
yeah, just to keep as much vision as he can on the map. War Prism heading towards Ryung's main. Actually,
Ooh,
it's
that's
not.
a huge warp in here. I believe a couple of them will be sent into the main and... No? Oh, yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Good call. Great call there. Ryung with a huge move out though. He's really going to
Oh,
start to
there's no shield
pressure.
battery here. There's no shield battery here. This is quite of a mistake from Classic. It's going to be pretty much impossible to defend. There's 4 tanks sieged up in basically 3 lines, so it's going to be really, really hard. He's going to give up the space. That is probably the correct call, but that means the economy is crippled, like massively. RYUNG also defended at home.
Yeah, that War
Apologies
Prism.
for missing that.
Yeah, War Prism warped in a bunch of stalkers, but a double Liberator Zone, man, just absolutely wrecked that. And once again, a great hold from Ryung. Even workers on both sides. So, and look at the supply difference. Even workers and Ryung being up 40 supply. That's 40 supply army, man. He's in a
Yeah,
pretty,
that is
pretty good
crazy.
position.
RYUNG is on top of his game, that's for sure. Now the supply has been closer for the past couple of moments, but RYUNG is just going to max out, and I think after that we're going to see one massive push once again, and RYUNG is going to just break Classic.
All
Classic's
pylons all the way
base,
from.
yeah, Classic's base has been scouted once again. Ooh, but the actual fight is not taking place at the base. 2 interference matrices just come in, and the liberation zones. Wow, this is actually crazy. Ooh, the Colossi will go down the second one as well, and the third one, and GG is called.
Ooh,
Man, RYUNG
yeah, man.
takes a series 2-0.
Yeah, that was I don't want to say a stomp, man, but Ryung just deflecting everything that Classic wanted to do, and then that's just shows you like if you can defend well without missing a beat of what you want to do, just how powerful the Terran mid game can be. Max out with Terran about 10 minutes and just move across the map. Great interference matrices and yeah,
Yeah, just
that's it.
brilliant spellcaster usage in both
Yeah,
games, in my opinion. Like the Ghost in the first game, and basically just focusing down those sophisticated units. That was really, really crazy. Like,
yeah, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. That was top game out of Young. More top 2 games out of Young. And I mean, Classic, he's obviously a long time person in StarCraft 2, and uh, definitely won't take that one to heart, and will, I mean, bounce back for sure. Like I say, he's back from military, and at least he's performing it. He's at least getting some games out, and
actually, he's back from like what quite some time, but haven't really showed any top performances. I believe. I'm not. I'm not sure. But yeah, uh, here's to hope that Classic will bounce back and see some really crazy games. Has some really good builds, so I want to see those as well. Anyways, Jono,
yeah,
once again, thank you for coming and casting with me. It's
nice to
uh
see.
it's always a pleasure. And guys, check out I'll drop Jono's Twitter. And of course, if you want to hear more from us as a dual cast, first of all, keep an eye on the MAUZY channel, and probably more often than not, you're gonna hear us cast live on Twitch on the CSO eSports Twitch channel. That's also going to be in the description with everything that you would like to see. If you like it, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, maybe ringing the notification bell. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.